Hi everyone, my name is Amélie Gingras, registered dietitian at Diabetes Quebec. I'm glad to be here today. As you will clearly hear, I'm a French speaker, so I just did this presentation in French and I will try my best in English for you. Um, At Diabetes Quebec, we've been following the tax credit issue for many years, and although we try to make people aware of its existence, we receive calls almost every week on the subject. In the past year, we received 100 calls and emails only on that subject. Kind of became an expert, but I'm not an accountant nor a financial advisor. I will explain it the best I can to you. Um, Today's presentation was created in collaboration with François Dumaresque. François is a accountant and also a person living with type 1 diabetes. He has helped many people with the DTC application, so I thank him for his help on this presentation. Today we will talk about federal tax credit, how to apply for the DTC certification specifically. And finally, we will talk about the registered disability saving plan. First off, some definition, because tax is not an easy subject. There is non-refundable credit. It's an amount that reduces and cancels your tax. There is also refundable credit. Those are amount paid to you even if you don't have to pay tax. And finally, deduction. Those are amount that you can subtract from your taxable income. First, tax credit for medical expenses. As a person living with diabetes, you have a lot of medical expenses. You can ask for a non-refundable tax credit for the part that is not reimbursed by your insurance. You will receive this credit if your expenses are greater than 2,635 or 3% of your income. The family member with the lowest income can ask for it for receive a greater amount. You can find the eligible expenses on the CRA website, and you don't have to send your medical bills, but you have to keep them for 7 years as a record. In some in some situation, you can also be eligible for a refundable tax credit, medical tax credit. It's at the line 45,200. Your accountant or the tax software will calculate what type of credit is applicable for your situation. Uh, it's mainly for the low income people that there is a refundable tax credit. There are others tax credit as well. There is a spouse or common law partner amount, or the amount for an eligible dependent. Those are non-refundable credits. You have to choose the most advantageous. You cannot ask for the two. It's applicable when your spouse, with disability or not, have a low income. We receive questions about the Canada Caregiver Credit. In most cases, the partner or the parent of a person living with type 1 diabetes cannot really ask this credit. For this credit, you have to have a medical note that states that the person with the diabetes is dependent on other for the basic necessities of life, like food, shelter, or clothing. Uh, Dependent on others means that the person need much more help for their personal needs and care compared to another person of the same age. So it's not really applicable for most cases of diabetes. The most important tax credit for type 1 diabetes is the DTC. How to claim it? It's a non-refundable credit, and it can apply to children and adults. How do you claim in the tax credit? You have to obtain a certificate of disability. It's a form that your doctor have to fill. You can do it anytime during the year. I encourage you to do it as soon as possible and way before the return season, the tax return season, to avoid delays. After you are approved for the DTC, every year you have to enter an amount in your tax return at the line 31,600 for yourself or your child, or at the line 3180 for a dependent. If you don't have enough tax to pay to use it completely, you can transfer the credit to your spouse. This certificate, you only have to fill it once for most cases. You will receive an accreditation that will state for how long it is approved. So in some case, it's 10 years, sometimes is all lifelong. Mostly the new accreditation are good for the lifetime. Now, how to apply for the DTC? It may seem complicated for many people, and I hope to prove you that is feasible. Some people may ask or may think that diabetes is not a handicap or a disability. In the eyes of the government, type 1 diabetes is considered a disability in the sense that it requires life-sustaining therapy. What does it mean? It's type 1 diabetes is needed as a therapy to support vital function. It's needed at least 2 times a week for an average of at least 14 hours per week. In June 2022, the tax legislation law changed. The big change is a reduction in the certification application requirements involving type 1 diabetes starting in 2021. The written mention in the tax legislation says that an individual who is diagnosed with type 1 diabetes is deemed to satisfy all the criteria for the life-sustaining therapy category. In other words, as of 2021, your doctor still have to fill the form, but you don't have to justify every criteria mentioned in the last slide. Your type 1 diabetes diagnosis is enough. So what's involved in the DTC application for an adult living with diabetes? First, you have to make sure your healthcare professional is willing to fill out the form. They have the right to ask for fees for completing the documentation that you can include in your medical credit bill. Some doctors still refuse to fill out DTC form for type 1 diabetes for adults mainly. Children don't have problems with that. There is no valid reason for that. On the Canada Revenue Agency website and directly on the form, type 1 diabetes is the main example given for the life-sustaining therapy category. So really, there is no excuse for not to accept to fill the form. After that, you have to prepare some supporting document. We will talk about that. In some situations, this can be needed, even if the type 1 diabetes is now automatically approved, and completed your part of the form before sending it to your healthcare professional to fill out the form. So the certificate for disability tax credit, the DTC, it's the T2201 form. There is two ways to fill it. You can use the PDF form that you print, or there is a new digital form. I will show you. I will escape that. On the website of the Revenue Agency for the disability tax credit, you can go here. You have the digital form application in your personal account on the RCA, excuse me. You can start a new domain on the credit section and fill out the form, the part A online. After that, you will receive a reference number that you will give to your doctor, and they will be able to connect here to fill out the part B. And after, you send it electronically. The other way is to apply with the paper form, the T2201. I will open it here. The disability tax credit certificate. So there is 16 page. It can be scary, but don't worry. You only have to fill the page the page 1 and 2. In the page 1, it's your personal information, and if necessary, the information about the person you claim it for, like a child, for example. In the second page, there is a very important question, the question 3, for the previous tax return adjustment. I should suggest that you say yes. You want the government to be able to apply the tax credit for the years before if you are eligible. So we check yes, adjust my previous tax return for all applicable years. We will, I will specify some things later on that part. After that, you can see that in the part B, it's for the doctor. There is a lot of different handicap, disability, like vision, speaking, and so and so. The part that concern us is the page 15 and 16 only. The life-sustaining therapy. There are the eligibility criteria. There is the note here that you can see if the life-sustaining therapy is indicated for the type 1 diabetes and you are filing this form for 2021 or later, you may skip to question 6. So you don't have to justify any of those questions, just the doctor will enter the year of diagnosis, say that it's for minimum 12 months, and it's not going to improve in the future. So the life-sustaining therapy is insulin, and the medical condition is type 1 diabetes or the type 1.5 LADA diabetes. And after that, the doctor will fill this page 2, and that's it. We will return here for the, okay. It is possible to claiming amount for past years. You can claim it going back up to 10 years. The part A, section 3, check yes, it's for that. But before the years 2021, the old eligibility criteria apply. That means that you have to detail all the 14 hours of eligible activity for which you dedicate time to diabetes. It's a little bit more work because you have to put to write all the justification for the 14 hours, but it's really worth it. You could receive around $1,500 for every year. Um, so, for example, in 2023, we can go back to 2013. Um, so for those years in the 2010s, you have to specify all the 14 hours. What are the eligible activities for these 14 hours? You can count calibration and maintenance of the necessary equipment, the changing sensor or pump equipment, the preparation and administration of insulin, high and low blood glucose treatment, blood glucose monitoring, keeping a blood glucose logbook and analyzing the result. But you cannot count the time that the pump takes to administrate insulin, the, the duration of appointment or the travel time for your appointment, the recovery for hypoglycemia or hyperglycemia, calculating carbohydrates or meal preparation. Um, for the kids, it's a no-brainer because the time of the parents and the time of the child count. So the 14-hour is meet easily. For the adults, that's where the doctor sometimes disagree. Sometimes they think no, it doesn't take 14 hours a week. So I suggest that you prepare your justification and bring it to your doctor with the form to fill, so they will be more willing to check yes, the 14 hours, yes, 2 times a week, and all the question. So you have to, the doctor will have to answer all the question in the form if you want to go back before 2021. You don't skip to question 6. You have to, the doctor have to fill all the question, including the justification. But if you could make it before, the doctor will appreciate that you bring him the justification for the 14 hours. At Diabète Québec, we have an example that you can personalize, but it's only in French. Sorry about that. After that, you have to submit the application. You can do it online. You can scan the PDF, or if you're already using the online application, it's directly on your account of CRA for the person with diabetes. For a child, you use the account of the parent receiving the Canada Child Benefit. You can also send it by mail. The address is at the end of the form, and you keep a copy for your records, obviously. Some specification for a children application. So that with the DTC, you can add a supplement for children. So at the line every year, you enter the mountain for the amount for the year, and you add another amount. You can see what are those amount every year on the website of the um, revenue agency website. Um, you enter those amount, but with the calculation, the maximum amount for 2023 for children that you can receive in non-refundable credit is $2,246, for example. And it will depend of your financial situation, your revenue, and some other things. Not everyone will receive all this amount. When you apply, when you are approved for the DTC, you will get automatically the child disability benefit. It's added to the Canada Child Benefit. So you will receive a greater amount every week for your Canada Child Benefit. Um, as an example, July 2023 to June 2024, you could receive up to 3,001, a little bit more than $3,000. You don't have to apply for another form for that. It's will be automatically added. What happens when the child turns 18? Um, Sometimes the certification is transferred to the child, but I recommend to call the CRA to ensure that the transfer is made, really. For the next part, I will talk about the Registered Disability Savings Plan. This is a long-term serving plan intended to help a person with disabilities save for the future. You have to be approved for the disability tax credit, and you have to apply before the end of the year you turn 59 years old. How to open RDSP? You have to contact a financial institution that offer the RDSP. There is the list on the website of the RDSP, but you do not need to have an existing account with those banks to open a RDSP. What are the benefits of our RDSP? Why you should open that account? It's really the most generous saving plan. It can You can receive one bond and a grant. I will talk about those specifically. There is the Canada Disability Savings Grant and the Canada Disability Savings Bond. It's a little, it's a little, well, sorry, it's a little bit like the RESP, but more generous, in fact. Until 49 years old, you if you contribute to your plan, the government will. How much? The maximum yearly grant is $3,500 with a limit of 70,000 over your lifetime. The amount of grant is on the family income and how much money you contribute to the plan. If your family income is greater than $106,000, for the first $500, the government will put $3 for each dollar. Okay, so we will continue. Okay, so next is the Canada Disability Saving Bond that you can receive. It is money the government contribute to the RDSP for low-income individuals. You do not need to make any contribution to your plan to receive this bond. So it's very interesting. Um, just the fact that you open this saving accounts, you can receive money. How much? The maximum yearly a bond is $1,000 until the lifetime limit of 200,000. The family it's for the person who have a family income less than $34,000 a year. So in that case, you will receive $1,000 every year. For those who have a family income between 34,000 and 53,000, the bond is reduced. After that, there is no bond. Interesting fact is if you is approved for the DTC for all the past 10 years or some of the past 10 years, you can receive a bond for those years too if you are eligible. This amount is called a carry forward. Some other particularities, there is a lifetime contribution limit of $200,000. There is a no annual amount maximum, but there is best to contribute in small amount over several years to benefit from the government grant and bond. The contribution are up to age 49, and the contribution are not tax deductible. So that's that. Oh, and when withdraw money from your RDSP, if it's the long-term serving plan, saving plan. So if you do want to have to pay back some of grants and bonds, you have to withdraw in the following situation. So from age 60, because the contribution have to stay in the plan minimum 10 years, um, or if you have a reduced life expectancy of 5 years or less. When you withdraw the money from the plan, your contribution are non-taxable because you already pay tax on it. But the grants, bonds, and investment income are taxable. Here I have some example to illustrate how many money you can receive from that kind of saving plans. We can Alexandre, 10 years old, family income $120,000. His parents and grandparents contribute because a lot of people can contribute to the plan. There is not exclusively you that can contribute to your plan. They contribute, for example, $1,000 a year because the family income is greater than $106,000, the government will contribute $1 for each dollar, so the $1,000, and because the income is greater than 53,000, you will not receive the bond. After 18 years old, at 19, Alexandre has a yearly income of 15,000. His parents and grandparents continue to contribute to help him with $1,300 every year, and Alexandre contribute $2,000. The government will contribute because his income is low. The government will contribute $3 for every dollar of the first 500 and $2 for the next 1,000. It's the maximum grant that he can receive, the $3,500 every year if you contribute $1,500. His income is lower than 53,000, so the government will add the bond of $1,000. At 26, Alexandre graduate and start a job at $60,000. He contribute $1,000 a year, and the government contribute $3 for the first 500 and $2 for the rest, 5,000 in this case. And his income is greater than 53,000, so he will not receive the bond in this situation. Later in life, Alexandre has a spouse and have a larger family income. He will contribute $1,200 a year, but the government will only contribute for the first 1,000, so $1 for every 1,000. And because his income is greater than 53,000, he will not receive the bond. Over a lifetime, this situation, it's an example um, of many. Alexandre and his family will have contributed $39,000 and the government will have put $56,000 in this saving account. It's a lot. It's really free money that the government help you with. So I hope I convince you to open the RDSP. If we look, for example, at the example at 19 years old, even if Alexandre could not put $200 or his grandparents could not contribute, the government will still give him the $1,000 every year with a low income. So in many situations, even if you don't have savings to put in the account, you can receive money too. So it's really great. For all the particularities, I refer you to a financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot help you to how to invest this money in this account. You can invest it in a lot of ways to uh, to make sure it profits well over the years, uh, up until 60 years old. You have to make the decision if you put money in this account or in your saving account for the um, retirement. So that's a financial advisor that can help you with that. You can find some resources on the government website for the disability tax credit, child disability benefit, RDSP. Do not hesitate to call the government if you have question about your demand. You can also consult our website. We have a page, Financial Assistance and Diabetes, that explain almost everything that I explained today in the presentation. And you have the links to the website, the form, everything you need is on this website. You can also call us at InfoDiabete. We have a email or a phone number that you can call, and we can help you with your demand. If you need help. Thank you for today. I will open the Q&A and see if there is questions. If it's a recent diagnosis, do you still say yes to reviewing previous tax years? If your diagnosis is 2023 and you make the demand in 2023, no, you don't have to, they will not have to go back on your previous tax return, so you don't have to say yes to that if the demand is made on the same year as your diagnosis. Um, is there a way we can verify if we got the DTC retroactive? You will receive a big check if that's the case. You can I don't know how you can do that. Uh, I guess if you call the government, the revenue agency, they can give you this information. Um, I'm not sure if I can help you more with that. If yes, normally in the months after you receive the accreditation, you will receive a big check for the years before if you are eligible. So that's what I can say to you. Um, are full-time students considered a child? Uh, for the RDSP, the child, it's after 18, even if he lives with the child still live with you after 18, they can the family income doesn't count. It's only the child income that will count for the RDSP. Are there restrictions on the withdrawals from the RDSP, such as type of expense? No, there is some specification for the payments of the plan when you withdraw it, but um, there is no type of expense uh, like RESP. No, it can be used for any reason. Do you offer advice on how to get coverage for an insulin pump when insurance? No. Um, For insulin pump, there is provincial programs to that. In Quebec, over 18, you don't have access to a pump. Um, the coverage will depending on the insurance you got, and we cannot do a thing about that. Sorry. Some people say in your CRA account, it's easily made online. You can see you got a message each year um, about the assessment of the year for the RESP, no, RSDP. So you have a message every year and about yes, you have information on your online account at the CRA about all your credits. That's a good way to see all the information if you don't want to call um, the revenue agency. Thank you everybody to attending today. I hope it was you received good information. Don't hesitate to call us if you need anything else. Have a great day.